Hey folks, Chuck Suter here at constitutionalwar.org, and we're here in Charlotte at the state convention being held today, Friday and Saturday, and I'm here with Robert Brawley. Just want to get an update of what's going on up in Brawley. First of all, I wanted to ask you a question about your committee that you're on. You're a chairman, and you were asked to be removed. What happened there?
Well, it was the Finance Committee. I've been chair of the Finance Committee, and as things would have it, I had made a little speech on the floor the day before about being opposed to toll roads and pointing out we didn't want toll roads in North Carolina anywhere. And I had made reference to when the speaker was speaking to the Trucking Association and told them he didn't want toll roads on 95 because they might come to I-77, and he didn't want any toll corridors in North Carolina, period. And now we were getting toll roads, my comments were, now we're getting toll roads on I-77, and that means they'll be spreading all over the state. My thought was, even with the speaker opposed to them, we're still getting toll roads. Well, the next day, I had a message from his office that said, be at my office at 1 o'clock. So I got there at 1 o'clock, session was at 1:15. I got to his office at 1 o'clock, and he said, I'm angry about your statements yesterday.
Mr. Brawley, you said something about somebody has told someone that I-95 would not be told. I have not heard that from anybody. Could you please expound on that, please, and say who told who that I-95 would not be told if this bill passes?
I can expand upon it. It's not part of this issue if you really want me to.
The gentleman has the floor.
The speaker spoke to the Trucking Association and told them that I-95 would not be tolled, and then shortly after that, we started hearing about I-77 being tolled.
And I said, well, I'm sorry about that, but I represent my people, and you choose what to be angry about, which I guess I should have been more tactful at any rate. He said, and besides that, I am very much opposed to toll roads, but I-77 is hot lanes. And I said, Mr. Speaker, you can call them hot lanes, toll roads, call them whatever you want to. You have to pay to travel on them, and they are toll roads. He said, that's it. I want your gavel. You're no longer my chair. Well, because of some other disagreements we had, I had been composing a letter to talk about the different issues that we had, and I confess, if we couldn't come to some kind of agreement, I had considered resigning anyway. So when he said, that's it, you're no longer my chair, I want your gavel, I said, well, I've been working on a letter that, and he said, well, you bring that letter and your gavel and turn it in at session. I will have the letter read into the journal, which means it's public information, everybody reads it. So I started again to explain, and he said, you bring it to session. So I went on over. The letter was on my private computer because I felt it was a private matter.
And he did not ask to read the letter beforehand or anything like that?
He didn't ask or read the letter.
So no surprise attack from you to try to make him look bad?
It was not, everything I had done was to be private between he and I. He became angry, and he said, I want your gavel, you're no longer my chair, and bring that letter, we'll have it read into the journal. I kept hoping, in fact, when on the floor, when I entered, I made the motion, stood up, I took the letter, I handed the gavel to Denise Weeks, the principal clerk, and I was going to hand the letter to him so he could look at it before they started reading, because I felt like he needed to know what was in there.
Yeah.
And he motioned to give it to Denise. As soon as I handed it to Denise, he said, have the clerk read it in. And I went back and sat down because, well, I didn't think I would be standing up when that letter was read.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate. So you mentioned the toll roads a little bit, and there has been some issues with the toll roads. I know people in your district are very upset and don't want to see that happen here. I'd heard from actually Jeff Tart, who said, don't worry, it's not just I-77. These things might, they're probably going to be popping up all over the state. What is your view, and what do you think that the leadership, what are their views on these toll roads, and is the plan to have them all over the state?
Unfortunately, everything I have uncovered in this research says not only do they look at putting toll roads throughout North Carolina as a way of financing highways, but you're going to have them all over the United States. As soon as they finish tolling I-77, there will be pressure to toll 95. And that's really unfortunate, because during the debates that day, when I said I-77 is being tolled, there were two people that stood up and said, as long as they don't toll I-95, we don't care what they do in the rest of the state.
Yeah.
And
the reason I wanted to stop tolling is because of I-95.
Representative, do you understand, one of the reasons this is such an issue with me is because it was agreed that I-95 would not be tolled, they would toll I-77, which is in my district?
I only represent my district, I'm sorry.
I've seen that video.
yes.
Well, very good. Have you heard any talk, chatter, anything about something that I'd read on, I believe it was the Daily Haymaker, that Speaker Tillis and Bruce Samuelson, there might be some movement to actually censure you for not agreeing with some of the stuff that has come down from the top.
I have seen that in the Haymaker. Everybody has the right to express themselves the way they want to. If they do want to censor me, I ask for one thing: at least have the decency to tell me what I did wrong first.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate your time, sir. Again, this is constitutionalwar.org, and folks, you need to get involved with your state legislators wherever you come down on any of these issues. Get involved, let them know, give them a call. I think Mr. Brawley here is more than willing to listen to your voice, and let's see what we can do to make this state work together for a Republican majority.